Nearing the end, we have some great performance left for you. Hey, hello, this is for the people in the back. Shh, keep it down, please. Hello, hello, hello. How about a big hand for all my kids? Big hand for all my kids. Just want to make you guys understand, my kids have worked hard for 11 weeks to prepare a great show for you guys. Stand-up comedy is one of the hardest things in the world to do. So please, in the back, be respectful to them, okay? And please keep your talking down. All right, our next act, very talented, worked very hard, has some great material. Big hand for Sean! Everyone right there. Aaron, oh my God, Aaron! Mic on, Aaron, from us.
So yesterday, maybe some of you saw, I had kind of a bad day. I was all down. Things didn't go my way. I was under the sun. It was a little cold in my world. And I did this, I played this game to cheer me up a little bit that I always play. It's called In the Ass. Yes! My mom taught it to me. And basically what you do is you take famous taglines of great brands and you put in the ass after them. So say it with me because I can't say in the ass one more time alone up here. McDonald's, I'm loving it, in the ass. We have Nike, just do it, Jenna, in the ass. Exactly. One of my favorites, we have CoverGirl, easy, breezy, beautiful, in the ass. Exactly. It also works really good with movie titles like Finding Nemo, in the ass, and my personal favorite, Me on a Friday Night, 13 going on 30, in the ass. And so I played this game to try and cheer myself up, but it didn't really work. It didn't really do the trick. So instead, I do what I always do to cheer myself up. I go and buy lube. For various uses. My mom did not teach me this. But what I found with buying lube is that you can't really just buy it like condoms, you know what I mean? Like nobody really needs lube. Everybody needs condoms. You can buy it with groceries and your newspaper and whatever. But you can't really just buy lube. So I tried to like combine it with like a fun, innocent, second item. So I've come to the habit of buying a bottle of lube and a chocolate bar. Innocence. Another time I buy lube and sometimes I get a little lean cuisine with it. It's kind of sad. But I think the story that the cashier still tells today is my first time buying lube many years ago. I bought my first ever bottle of lube and a flashlight. So that was not good. Okay, so let's talk about gluten, okay? So forget the fact that we've been eating it for 35 years as an American society. All of a sudden it's unhealthy. All of a sudden people have diseases to it, okay? Forget the binge drinking and sucking marijuana and cigarettes like they're air, the nightly Adderall comas, the hormones in milk and all that shit, but no, if your fucking bread stretches, you're doomed. You are doomed. Okay? And being a waiter, a server, it's made my job really, really difficult. It's replaced people's greetings a lot of times. So, walk up, hey, what's up? Can I get you guys something else to drink? Besides water? I am allergic to everything on the menu because it has gluten. What do you suggest? What do I suggest? My dick. My dick with a side of I don't care. It turns out gluten is a protein, so that's off the limits too.
That was great.
But if you're avoiding gluten for your own personal decisions, don't punish me. It is not my fault. It's like children. You chose to procreate. Don't put those little monsters in my area. You know, don't punish me for your heterosexuality. Don't bring that unnatural lifestyle. I don't need to see that. I don't need to know that. All right? And, you know, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear about you being gluten-free. I mean, just this past Monday, I became chlamydia-free, and nobody cares about that. And last week, my cousin became fetus-free, so that's another story. Speaking of fetus-free, have you guys ever seen two gay guys meet at a bar for the first time? I'm sure many of you have. Well, I have. And usually when two gay guys meet for the first time at a bar, it's either be gayer or be killed. It is a game to out-gay the other gay. Fortunately for me, I've developed this kind of, I don't know, defense mechanism that I've coined my flight or fuck response. Flight involves me meeting them, and not dealing with it, and then flying into 14 shots of Fireball and never seeing them again for the rest of the night. Jenna Daly can attest to that. Otherwise, the other response, the fuck, we fuck tonight. And that's the only thing on my mind, and that is it. And this happened to me last weekend. I went to Roscoe's, where all human dignity goes to die. And I met a friend of a friend's. The sass was off the chart. I couldn't handle it. So naturally, I flew into 7 vodka sodas and never saw him again for the rest of the night. But the next morning, when I woke up in his bed, I rolled over and I thought, oh shit, why did I go home with this guy? Like, I flew, I was gone. I rolled over and I got up, and I looked on his bedside table, and I saw it. There was a bottle of lube and a chocolate bar, and I knew we were meant to be. Meant to be. Thank you, guys.
Keep it going for Aaron. That's my apologies. Very funny. Keep it going. One more hand for Aaron. All right, guys. We have one more entertainer left for you tonight. All right. So if you guys hold on, make sure you keep your talking down, which is 0. One more entertainer. We can bring up our next act. Closing the show for us tonight. He is absolutely an original. Give it up for Murray!
I don't have any good news. Hi, my name's Barry Kahn, and everything's fine. Do you guys ever wonder if well-endowed dogs refer to their erections as Cliffords? It was just a passing thought. I don't know if you guys guessed by my name, Barry Ahmed Khan, but my parents aren't from America, which people seem to be fine with now. But like growing up, I always wanted to be white, and I know you think I'm white, and thank you. And I think I'm white, but sometimes I'm not white, like at airports.
Assalamu alaikum.
But you know, growing up, there always was like a great deal of white envy where I was living, and I'd see like lovely white people with their Labradors and golden awnings and future white girlfriends. I can't imagine a world without white girlfriends. It seems horrifying to me. So that was something I struggled with growing up until one afternoon, September 2001. I'm a silver linings kind of guy. Yeah. So 9/11 happened, and people on TV were saying that people with names like mine, Barry Ahmed Khan, were dangerous, immoral people and potentially enemies of the state. And I didn't really have much of a sense of self back then. So I thought, you know, hey, why don't I just embrace that scary Muslim that lives inside of everybody with a name like mine, because we're all potential threats. and run with it. So I was like, Alu motherfucking Akbar, but. I don't even know what that means. I'm not even Muslim. But fuck you, I'll blow your house up. So that was fun, for a while, but, time flows like a river. History is a beaver. People's attitudes have changed a little bit towards, Muslims. There's now I wouldn't say morbid, but there is a curiosity. And people are like, no, you should go. You should go back home to Pakistan, where your father's from, and visit there. And I understand it's with the best liberal intentions, but fuck you! I live in America. Why would I go to that dusty, murderous hellhole? Even my father, who's from Pakistan and a bit nationalistic, tells me, buddy, do not go. They'll eat your half-honky ass alive. But. What would happen if I went to Pakistan? If I, Bari Ahmed Khan, the American, half-honky American, went to Pakistan, I would be kidnapped and murdered by the Taliban. In hopefully in that order. I would be decapitated on videotape that would be posted to a clandestine website where pockmarked teenagers would comment on how I sounded like a little bitch and my head was inefficiently decapitated in a beige room by men with poor people sandals. I fucking hate it when men wear sandals. I deserve better. If I was kidnapped, I'd do my best to defect. I'm sorry I love this country, but... I smoke pot sometimes, just to change gears. You guys smoke pot sometimes? I don't understand why any of you are proud of yourself. It's not a tremendously difficult thing to do, I think. It is, however, incredibly difficult for me to do anything after smoking pot. The more marijuana in my system, the less empathy in my being. There could be a little old lady screaming for help, being mauled to death by a pack of feral dogs outside of my apartment. And my stoned reaction would be to stand as still as possible and hope that the dogs killed her swiftly, or at least ripped out her throat, so the screaming would stop and I could get back to my video games. Sometimes I think those do affect me. Yeah, so things get weird at home sometimes. I mean, I live alone, very alone. I like to drink a lot. It's mainly in the one spot. And it's tough walking around. 'Cause I live in a really nice neighborhood. I live in Bucktown, and there's mansions and lovely white families. You know how I feel about that. And so I'm like, I'm a monster. I know I'm the monster that lives in 1F, and I know they know. And so it's tough, so I just make it quick and keep my head down. But now I walk with my head up because I figured it out. I've gotten a dog. So now I walk around, thank you. Now I walk around with the dog and I say, oh, surely that man doesn't sit alone and drink and weep all night. No, not with him and his smiley dog. Everything must be fine. No way. That man lives in a room filled with cum and vodka. But, that's part of it. It's part of life. It's the locked room and such. Speaking of the locked room, you guys seen that True Detective program? I'm like weirdly into it. It's not weird to be in it because it's great and we all know it's great. But like, I told you I live alone and I sit in the chair with the drinks. And sometimes I take photographs of the clues in the show. Because there's murders in the show. And the murders are usually of women who have been stabbed and tortured a bit and adorned with antlers. And I'm not into it. I just want to solve the crime. So I take a lot of photos. More on that later. But I actually managed to do something decent, a social thing, an outside thing of my own volition. I went on a date. I went on a date with a nice girl and things were going great. And naturally after my second drink, I began to run out of things to talk about because there's so much to hide. There's so much I have to hide about who I am that early on. So I thought, oh my God, you know what's going to go over great right now is the dog. You have a dog, a lovely humanizing dog that'll make you seem normal. I'm going to show her a picture of the dog. And so I opened the camera roll, and I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. But I immediately realized this was a terrible idea. Across the 5.1-inch display on my phone, I scroll through dozens and dozens of grainy photos of mutilated women. There are so many of these photos that I have to say something, or else it's kind of like a threat. So I say something to her, and I say, listen, it's this show, I'm really into it. There's a lot of visual clues, you know, it's deep. And she's actually pretty cool about it. She makes a joke, and she says, you know, and she points to my telephone, and she says, you know, that girl's pretty for a dead girl. And I just thought that was so funny. I thought that was so nice. I'm like, oh God, she's not judging. Maybe she gets me. Maybe she's the one. So, you know, I think this is time to up the ante a little bit, you know, first date and all. And I brushed the hair back from her face very affectionately, like her, the best I could do with things like that. And I look in her eyes and I say, why, you'd make for an even prettier dead girl. And, you know, that was that. So if you guys are looking for me now, I'm back in the chair, the lonely chair. And just don't knock on the door or anything, because I'm stoned and that kind of scares me. All right, thank you very much.